Kim Kardashian defends Britney Spears, PewDiePie calls out David Dobrik for being weird and shady, plus Eminem finally hits back at Gen Z for trying to cancel him. But first, if you could do us a big favor, please smash that like button, we'd really appreciate it. Now with that out of the way, let's just dive right into today's video. So first things first, let's talk about Kim Kardashian and her recent defense of Britney Spears. After watching the New York Times documentary called Framing Britney Spears, Kim says that she too has experienced abuse from the media. The highly discussed documentary dives into the dark relationship that Britney had with the media and paparazzi. In addition to this, they also touched on the very complicated conservatorship battle that she has been going through with her father. Kim took to her Instagram stories to defend Britney and said, "So I finally watched the Britney Spears documentary this week and it made me feel a lot of empathy for her. The way the media played a big role in her life the way it did can be very traumatizing and it can really break even the strongest person. No matter how public someone's life may seem, no one deserves to be treated with such cruelty or judgment for entertainment." She then goes on to speak about her own negative experiences with the media and says, "When I was pregnant with North, I was suffering from preeclampsia, which made me swell uncontrollably. I gained 60 pounds and delivered almost 6 weeks early, and I cried every single day over what was happening to my body, mainly from the pressures of being constantly compared to what society considered a healthy pregnant person should look like, as well as being compared to Shamu the whale by the media. Looking at all the photos of myself online and in magazines made me so insecure, and I had this fear of wondering if I would ever get my pre-baby body back. I was shamed on a weekly basis with cover stories that made my insecurities so painful I couldn't leave the house for months after. It really broke me," which is just so upsetting to hear, right? No one should ever have to go through this kind of intense scrutiny, and especially a woman that's carrying a child. They just don't need that kind of stress. Kim added a final thought and said, "You just never fully know what someone is going through behind the scenes, and I've learned through my own experiences that it's always better to lead with kindness." In other news, PewDiePie called out David Dobrik during a recent live stream for being shady and weird. If you recall, David Dobrik has been under fire for shocking sexual assault allegations regarding a kissing prank that he played on Seth Francois back in 2017. According to Seth, he was tricked into doing a non-consensual kiss, which ultimately traumatized him. David, however, claims that Seth did consent to the prank, but many people are just not buying it. Felix, aka PewDiePie, for example, recently weighed in on the matter and, as I mentioned, described David's behavior as shady and weird. In the clip, he is quoted as saying, "He seems hella shady, dude. I don't know much about David, but my radar flicked up a bit. I kind of got the same feeling about him as I got from Logan Paul when not everyone hated Logan Paul." He then added, "Don't get me wrong, his videos are really entertaining, but he always gave me that weird vibe. How is he able to get away with all this shit? He's doing so much weird shit. If I did that, I'd be canceled. How is he doing it?" Which is the question on a lot of people's mind right now. So far, David has yet to comment on the situation for a second time, but we believe his fans are owed an explanation at the very least. Now for our final story, let's talk about Eminem's response to Gen Z trying to cancel him. The rapper began trending hard on social media after some Gen Z TikTokers started getting offended by his lyrics from the song Love the Way You Lie. This led to a call for him to be canceled. The line these TikTokers have an issue with is when he says, "I know I'm a liar, if she ever tries to leave again, I'ma tie her to the bed and set this house on fire." It's a well-constructed line, and of course the meaning behind it is going right over Gen Z's head. If they even took a second to look into Eminem's past, they would understand that he grew up watching his mother be abused. The song and video itself is speaking out against domestic violence and abusive relationships. Plus, why would Rihanna willingly do a feature on this song after experiencing physical abuse from her ex Chris Brown? That happened in February of 2009, and this song came out the following year. Now, for the most part, Eminem never really speaks out publicly regarding his backlash. He usually just lets his lyrics speak for him, and that way he just keeps making more money, which only angers his haters further. It's quite brilliant and laughable when Gen Z tries to cancel a man who literally built his career off of being canceled. In his latest release called Tone Deaf, Marshall addressed this recent cancellation and tweeted part of the hook to the song saying, "I won't stop even when my hair turns gray, I'm tone deaf. Cause they won't stop until they cancel me, I'm tone deaf." And if you haven't heard the full song, I highly recommend it. I just brutalized it right there reading it verbatim. But even in the last line of the song, he kind of explains that the person Gen Z is mad at is his alter ego Slim Shady. Marshall created this alter ego to act as the devil on his shoulder, but just because it's a creation of his doesn't mean that he lives by those words. In the last line he says, "I told y'all it ain't me, it's my alter ego's fault, but if y'all want to cancel me, no prob, I'll tell you the same thing I told Paul." And then that leads back into the hook of being tone deaf to his haters. I mean, it seems like Eminem really isn't going to be losing any sleep over this little TikTok cancellation, but sorry Gen Z, you'll have to do better next time. With that though, let's check out some of your comments from the video titled "TikTok Gorilla Glue Girl is in Trouble Again, Update." Can't believe I said that without breaking. Shelby Stroud says, "I'm still dumbfounded that she has a manager." She did get a ton of viral attention, so now in this world of social media, it kind of makes sense. That Odd Girl 26 says, "Dolly Parton also has a charity where she takes donated books and gives them to families with young children who can't afford them, as well as promotes reading for said young children. It's called the Imagination Library." Look, Dolly Parton is truly a national treasure. She just needs a statue in every city of America. Gloomy Sunday says, "At this point, Gorilla Glue took over COVID." I didn't think we'd ever stop talking about COVID, but hey, Gorilla Glue took over, so that's nice. Mary Stiltner says, "I like you clean shaven." Wow. Thank you, Mary. My lady appreciates it as well. Eric Robbins says, "Nice Bears hoodie." Thank you so much. I've been a Bears fan since day one. Let's go Bears. Maybe next year. But that's been today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy, YouTube.
Peace.